Hello everybody, we are going to see subqueries in this video. What is subqueries, how to use it, and what are the different ways to implement subqueries that we are going to see. First of all, let's say means we do have these three tables, which is employee demographics, employee salary, and then there is a supply departments. Now there is a requirement where I just wanted to get the demographic data from the department, let's say this supply and logistics, how to get it and we wanted to means we have this department ID as well here and employee demographics. So these three tables we do have, and now the requirement is to get the data from supply logistic, whatever the department ID is. We know this department ID is available here as one, and this is available here in department ID, but we don't have a department ID in this particular employee demographics. So what we can do, we do have this employee demographics, we do have this employee salary table. With the help of this department ID, we can get the employee ID, and then we can apply that filter to this employee demographics. How to do that? Let's try to get this employee ID for employee salary, where department ID is equal to 1. So this is what we are trying to get it. Now if I try to run this, now we are getting these are the employee IDs. Now we need to pass this employee IDs. So this result is nothing but whoever having department ID is equal to 1, like supply and logistics. They these are the employee available in that department. So what we need to do is we just need to do a like employee ID is equal to, and let's say whatever this result we have, so we can like we need to type as 1 if select value, then we are going to get this data like this for 1. But we don't want to do that, like we cannot hard code, like whatever the result which we are getting here, you can see 1 2 3 4, we cannot pass one by one. We can type like this in operator, and then we can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 12, and then we can run this. Then you will see that we are getting this result. But we cannot hard code if there is something which is thousands of records or thousands of employees in a particular department. If you are getting like these many records, like it's fine, means we can type this manually here. But let's say if you have hundreds of employees in a particular department, we cannot type it manually in this list. So how we can, instead of this, what we can do, we can just get this query here, and I'm just doing it here like this. So, and we'll give this bracket. Now, what we are trying to do is whatever the result which is coming here, which is nothing but this employee IDs, which is coming here, we are passing that to this employee ID list. We are getting like this employee ID. Now, when we run this, now you can see this is the result. Now, you will say that there is a no two employee ID. If I say here, if I run it, we have 1 2 3 4 5. Then when we run this query, why this particular two employee ID is not there? Because you know in this employee demographics there is no two employee record which is here. That is why it is not coming here. So this is how these subquery is nothing but the query within a query. So whatever written in this particular bracket is something which is we can say a query or a subquery. So this is the main query, outer query, and this is the inner query. So this is called as a subquery, and this is first part we have seen in the where clause. So because we have applied this in where clause of this. Now the next thing is we can apply this in the select clause. Now we do have this employee salary table, and we wanted to get first name, salary, and let's say average of salary, and I'm just trying to run this now. Okay, so this is not going to work because as expected, it needs a group by. So how to do this? We just need to add a first name, comma salary, and I'll just try to run it now. Now you can see this is how it is showing, but uh, average which is we are trying to do is we wanted to do the average of all these. Okay, but it is something which is calculating row by row. For each row, what is the average? So the same value it is showing. So to correct this, what we can do is instead of just average, what we can do, we can use a subquery. So in this, we can just mention select. So we need to give a bracket here, uh, and then we need to from employee salary, and then we will. So what we are trying to do is first name is the first field, salary is second field, and third field we are making as a subquery. So subquery in a select clause, which will bring the average salary from the employee salary table. And then if you try to run this now, you can see this average which is getting correctly uh, for entire thing. So this is how it is going to be corrected as you can say average salary. So this is the correct way to do implement the subquery in a select clause as well. So whenever any such aggregated function we wanted to use on a tabular level or table level, then we can use this subqueries. Now the third part, how to implement the subqueries in from clause. Now to implement subqueries in from clause, what we can do is let's say we are trying to get the details like gender and then average of age from by demographics, and we need a group by here as well because this will not work like this, and we will take other fields as well, other aggregated functions as well as max of age, min of age, and let's say count of age as well. And if I try to run this now, what this will do, we will get a average of male and female, uh, max of age, minimum of age, and other things. If we run it, we are getting this all these details like how the average is, maximum, minimum, and count is calculated. If the requirement is like this, that I wanted to get a average of these two fields, or whatever the female or whatever the max or average of male, only these two things. So how we can get? For this, we can use a subquery in a from clause. Just copy it, and what we can do, select star from, and in a bracket we can mention like instead of table, what we can give is we can give this query here, and we can try to get this like instead of like whenever we write any query like select star from particular table name, instead of that we can use the subquery in it, and then we are going to get this query. If I try to run, it is not going to work because we need to give an alias for this. So I'm just going to say aggregate table, and if I say run it, then it is giving the same result. But what we wanted to get this average of this. So for this, what we can do, we can use average of, particularly we need to get this average of this age. Now, if I try to run this, and this will not work because it doesn't identify that age is a column. To make it work, we need to give a tick mark here, which is here available on my keyboard on top of tab key on the left side. So if I try to run it now, we are going to get this average. Similarly, we can do this for our age field, maximum age, minimum age. Uh, make it somewhat more formatted. What we can do, or what we can try to give this alias name here as average age, uh, max age, and as count age, like this. Now if I try to run this and instead of this now average age, instead of this tick marks, what we can do, we can just give these things and we can make like this. We can take average of everything, average of mean age, age, like this. So what we can we are trying to do is we are trying to give like this, to give comma here, trying to run it. So now you can see for each of the whatever the minimum and maximum things for whatever the maximum. So for what is this is the average we are getting. So this is how we are going to use particularly the subqueries in this from clause. Then we do have this in a select clause, and then we do have this in a where clause. We can use nested subqueries as well. Here also we can, if you don't know the department ID here, we can make it as a like a department ID in let's say select DPT ID from supply departments where department name. If you just know the department name, then we can mention that supply and logistics. I hope that is correct name. Um, so now I will show you how this works. This one, and I need to close the bracket for this as well. So that will make sure that it is properly written. So that means this is one subquery. That result is getting passed to this department ID, and from that we are retrieving the employee ID, and this employee ID is getting passed to this employee ID for the demographics. So we are using three tables, and if I try to run this, now the result will come correctly as expected. Uh, if you don't know, so instead of supply and departments, if you wanted to get, let's say, finance department, that is also you can get, and you can just try to see who are in the having the finance department. This way we can use subqueries in a different way. In the next session we are going to see window functions in